So my name is Big Ted. I'm an industry player and an interested party. So this session will be different. I would like all of us to participate so we're able to get some good, tangible results out of this. Okay? Our topic is very simple. Is our music quality enough? The artists who are here, the biggest complaint we hear is our songs are not being played, our songs are not being played, our songs are not being played. We want to talk about content and is this good enough? So we have, I think, three guys from radio and then two industry players there. So let me start with Cedo because Cedo, you're a producer.
Yes.
Cedric, is our content good enough?
I think it depends who's asking because different people have set different standards based on whatever reasons they have. But I believe any content that is released out there, there's an audience for it. If you don't feel as a radio station or as a DJ that it doesn't work for you, no one's going to blame you for not playing it.
But hold on.
Yeah.
If you say that, then it simply means that nobody should complain. They should go look for their audience.
Yes, I feel like an artist has responsibility to find their audience. Where, as a content creator, if I release a piece of music and I want, I'm releasing that music for a particular audience, right? And if you, Big Ted, don't like it, you don't have a right to come and tell me whether it's good quality or not good quality, as long as there is someone out there who's willing to listen to it, buy it, or play it.
So, but so let's come to Capital. Capital, hamchezi local Buddha.
Yeah.
What's the problem with you guys?
Allow me to...
And talk about the content issue.
Allow me to correct your statement.
Yes.
We do play local. In fact, it's good to remember that one of the pioneers of Play KE music was a producer at Capital for over 10 years, Joe Mushiri. And he was one of the masterminds who pushed for local content. So...
he pushed for it when he's at Capital or when he left?
Both. Anyway,
all right.
With regards to content, I like what Cedo said. Everything that's produced has its target audience. The fact that it does not resonate with person A, Naiboi, karibu sana, karibu sana. The fact that it doesn't resonate with person
Naiboi,
A.
you're right on time, so.
There's always a market for everything that's produced. Whether it resonates with you is the question, as Cedo said. That said, radio, different stations, NRG, Homeboys, Capital, every station has its sound. So if your work does not resonate with the ideals of a certain organization, it does not mean that your sound is not quality. It just means the platform that it's been pushed on it varies. It varies. So that said, we do push local music. The likes of the Calligraphs, the Noninis, they all started at Capital when no one was playing their music. True or false?
True or false? Audience? Nyindo mafans, mnafaa kusema. But let me ask you, we know one organization has registered 15,000 members. And the complaint is still the same, that the media is not playing their music. So yes, I understand you can have variations and every station can have its own niche. So who will play the rest of the music? There are many people here, up and coming artists, soon to be stars, whose songs have never been played on air. So then where do they go? They will not be called for any shows. They'll not appear on your playlist at NRG. Naiboi has sung for more than, I think, 10 years. Naiboi, 7 years, right? 7? 14 years. For him to come and get a hit now, and everybody's like, oh my God, we play Naiboi and everything. So who is going to play these other guys? Let's speak to NRG Radio. NRG. By the way, NRG zile gari zenu si ziko na mileage. Anyway, continue.
Zimetembea.
Baya sana.
Tunajaribu. Now, I look at it differently. Every artist has a chance to play their music to be played on radio. But what content is in the music? Someone like Naiboi here, I think you flood 30% of my playlist. What we normally do, the advantage that I have is our systems are automated. So there's no human touch to how the songs play. As long as it makes it into the folder, the system will select the music by itself. So it's not about why we're not playing Kenyan music. It's the content within the music that determines what
Just hold on. You just hit on Cedo right now. Cedo, hold on. So are you talking about people like who? Come on, we're in a meeting here, we can discuss. Are you saying the lyrics are weak?
Not all of them.
Or the song structure is weak? Not everybody.
Not everyone.
Yeah.
A good number of them.
All right.
Yes? The ones who aspire to be musicians.
Yes.
But they have not maybe taken the lead from the Naibois or the Cedos to understand what in the media we're looking for.
Cedo, when somebody comes to your studio to record, do you advise them about the lyrics in the song?
My work as a music producer is to make sure that whatever is in the artist's mind, whatever the artist's vision is, I deliver that for him and interpret the music in a way that the audience will understand. That's my work. So if I feel the lyrics need some adjusting, yes, I will adjust. But my aim is not to change the artist's vision, it's to enhance it. That being said, my opinion is, my question here to you is, do you have a panel somewhere that sits that says, this is what we've determined as good quality, and what is the criteria? What are the reasons that you use as a station to say whether this music is good quality or not, whether the content is good content or not? What is your measure of standard? And do you apply that measure across the board internationally, or does it only apply to Kenyan music?
We have a music department of 3 guys, 3 DJs, okay? Since you guys are in the business, their job is to look out for good music, okay? That has traction, depending where, online, or if it's a big artist, of course, we'll give them consideration because they understand what we're looking for. They will vet the music and load it into the system. That's it.
But let me ask Naiboi, how does somebody become a big artist? Because I've heard this thing of big artist. How does somebody make it? Because somebody can have, I'm on YouTube, there are songs which are not played on radio, which have more likes and more views than many of the songs which are being played on radio right now. We have the songs, Kizazi Kipya, which is coming in right now, which is mishmash. It's not necessarily anything you can say lyrical. It's not a lyrical poet, but it's just, speaker iko juu, speaker iko chini, speaker inaenda, speaker inarudi. And the thing has 1 million views. Okay? So, but how does somebody become a big artist?
I don't think I have the right answer for that. Because I used to think there's a formula. I realized there's no formula. It depends on where the state of mind of the people are. Unaweza toa speaker iko juu, speaker iko chini, saa hii is hit, uitoe kesho hit. So there's no formula. I just believe mtu follow heart yake and release something that they believe in. That's why Cedo is saying we don't really dictate, we enhance within the guidelines of what we believe can work.
Okay, yeah. Good enough, but sacha nikuulize, so that tutoe blame kwa watu wa media. Ukitoa ngoma na hiyo ngoma inaongelesha vile wewe unataka, na media station haiko katika ile ukarabati yao, or how they plan their music. Then we cannot blame the media houses.
Yeah, but to be honest, Nicki Minaj, Drake, they're rapping and cussing all over their music, and it's being played on these radios.
Umesikia watu wa radio? Let's talk to Switch.
Ama?
Tamima.
Yes, Ted.
Wait. Do you have artists here? Mumbesikia hizo ngoma ama mjasikia? Station gani? Thank you.
Hapa naona mapambano itaanza tu hapa sahi. Tamima.
Yes, Ted.
Switch TV, new in the market, looking out to give a platform. All these guys here. I'm sure there are artists here who have good hopes and dreams, and they have bright futures, but still they do not have a chance to be on that platform. What's your plan for them?
Okay, so having listened to what everyone was saying earlier, I have a very different view to this entire matter. I'll put it to you this way, whereby when this conversation first broke out, there was a lot of finger pointing. Yeah, the artist side saying the media doesn't do this, the media side, the artists are not doing this. And now we are here several weeks later when that week everybody's playlist was Kenyan. All shows were doing strictly Kenyan. But if we're looking at it today, February 16th, I think we are really, in a lot of ways, back to the status quo. And I think both sides have to look at themselves, simply put, because like you've said, there's so many young artists who want to make it big. And I like how he said there's really no formula, because before anything else, it's first art. Yeah, so if you're doing it as art first, you're creating, and then everything else now comes after you've created. And when I say everything else comes after you've created, that's why you need structures. If you look at today in 2019, we are complaining Tanzanians have taken over our industry. It's simply because if you looked at it, how was Kenyan music able to grow? A couple of years back, there was something called labels. Labels had a structured way of working with media. So right now you're hearing the term publicists. So within those labels, they had linkages with media so that they have like 10 artists. They have the big artists, they have the 9 artists who are coming up afterwards. So there'd be a proper linkage in as much as we know so-and-so is the big artist right now, but he has 9 other people still under the same stable that we must all push. So you'll find the time that there was that breakdown with labels, people started working in silos. So the artist will work with the producer. He has nowhere to push his music. He doesn't even know where to start.
Let's call them not silos, call them cartels.
No, I'll say silos. You know why? Because I don't want to use that word, because I really believe there are people in media who have their heads and their minds in the right place. So just because there are some bad apples, you can't label the entire industry as cartels.
Good enough?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, a round of applause for Tamima, the only lady in the group, so...
Yeah.
But I need us to have this conversation and break down the small things that we need to talk about. Let's talk about the Play KE thing, which came up. And you've said it right, that for a few days, everybody was Play KE. All of us made memes, we made everything. But immediately, Diamond released a song, and then all of us ran to that song. So I want us to demystify this thing and either absolve the media from this issue or transfer the blame to where it needs to go to. The problem, I think, with Kenyans is Kenyans are not loyal.
I think, okay, on that, I don't think it's about absolution or blame. Mm-hmm. For me, it comes back down to planning and structure. Because if Diamond releases Tetema is hot. If I don't play it on TV, there's YouTube. People will share it, yeah? Even without wanting to know Tetema, you're forced to know Tetema. Are you understanding? That's what I'm saying. It comes down. It's not about blame or absolution. It's about planning.
But let me ask you. Let me ask you.
Yeah.
So that we stick in that area. So why can't you, as the media, force Kenyans to listen to Kenyan music?
And that's the thing. I'm saying it's about planning. So that as the media, we are very organized. And also now on the music business side, there needs to be an organization as well. And you'll realize, for lack of a better word, a lot of the time when decisions have to be made, they're not being made in a room full of 1,000 people. The key decision makers, it's such a small pool of people who can decide for the rest of the year, every single show on TV, every single show on radio. Yes, we'll play Tanzania, we'll play Nigeria, but we must make sure that 50% is Kenyan. And you see, the best way to get that, it's not coming from a place of finger pointing or being forced by laws or legislature. We need to come to a point where they buy into it.
All right, but how do we make them buy into it? Because these are Kenyans. These are Kenyans here. I'm sure they want to promote their own, but they're also very busy listening and pushing other music. So how do we make sure that these guys here listen, promote, and appreciate our thing, whether they like it or not?
On the other side, so I'll go back to the original point. Music still needs structure. Because if I have 1 million artists and we have 10 stations, and all a million artists are trying to get through to the 10 stations, it becomes very difficult to filter. That's why now you'll find those things you're mentioning, like cartels, will come up. But you see, the moment there is absolute structure, so that when the young artist comes out, they understand that if I'm signed, for instance, or if I'm working at a larger stable, I have a better chance vis-a-vis when I'm just making music. I'm paying a producer, he does the song. I pay somebody to do the video, he does the video. Okay, so I have a song and a video. What next? I call everyone, yeah? I call this station, please play me, please play me. And this is the reality also now, on our side now as media. We get so many of those. And people will review, right? But you'll find chances are somebody who comes to the table with a better value proposition from a promotional point of view. And in other industries, it's called A&R, artist and repertoire. So that there are people who understand that it's not, this follow-up is not for one day. You don't call for one day and say, hi, please play me. It's consistent. You have to build rapport. And the moment now young artists are equipped with that, by the time you're landing on the scene, and I hate to say it, even for us who are in media, now as someone who creates as a presenter, now as a TV presenter.
Tom, let me just cut you off because Naiboi doesn't seem too happy with that. But Slahver, I also want you to weigh in on this whole issue of how can we get our music in the right places and then how can we get it played? And with that, I want to ask the media guys who are here, are you guys willing to play 70% local? Are you willing? And if you're willing, what do we need to do as an industry to make sure that you have what you need and you start playing it? All right, Slahver, what do you think about this push?
Actually, me, I'm talking from a DJ perspective and someone who represents musician. So, kuna vitu zenye wase wanaepa. They don't want to talk about them. You see, as guys say in Kenya we don't have good music, but that's not the fact. The thing is, you can even ask Cedo. He has produced so many artists who have good music, but that they're not being played on radio or TV.
And those are not being played in the clubs by you DJs.
That's where I'm going. Now you see, the reason why that's happening, it's because msanii anapeleka ngoma radio. And then there's someone who's been employed there, a producer, or someone who's in charge of music. That person is not, maybe analegea kazini. You send them emails, they're not opening. Maybe wakifungua, lazima ukituma email, lazima ipate na M-Pesa. But you see, kuna wasanii wengi like unapata Cedo.
Pull up kidogo hapo. Pull up kidogo. Naiboi nyu tumaga M-Pesa?
I know guys who send M-Pesa. I know artists who have presenters on payroll.
Yeah, like every month,
that's the truth.
lazima atume kitu. Asipotuma achezwi.
Mnakula pesa.
Kanga hapi hivi mtu wangu. Watu tuma kama how much hivi? Approximately.
Some labels in Kenya, the ones, most of them, when you wanachezwa, like on rotation. Unapata hii song kama imetoka, let me use Cedo kama example. Imetoka kwa Cedo. Cedo kuna amesema, each media inapata 15,000 from Cedo.
Which media house?
Hey,
I'm a publicist.
I need to do a lifestyle audit.
Industry na wenyewe mtu wangu.
Listen.
15,000.
Listen. I'm a publicist. And my job is to distribute. Mimi ukua hit, wewe ni mdosi, ujui chenye kinaendelea uko chini. Ule mse mwenye ameandikwa kule kuwekwa song kwa playlist, lazima umchotee. Reason being, unajua sika kitambo, presenter angeenda na flash disk kwa radio, anajua leo naenda kucheza hii. Things changed. Saizi kuna mtu ameandikwa na hakuna mtu anajua ni nani. Artists don't know.
Just hold on, Slahver. Hapo umechamsha kidogo. Ebu, do you have a mic in the audience? All right. Ebu, kuna msanii hapa ashaichota. Usituambie nani ulilipa, but is there anybody here who has paid?
Mimi nishaitishwa do. From naitwa Chiluba.
Na usiseme wapi, sema tu.
Yes, yeah, but nishaitishwa do na media stations 2. Na ziko leading, si ati ni zile ziko down. Ziko 2 nimeitishwa.
How much hivi?
Like 10 Gs, 15 Gs.
Disk yangu isha rotate online kwa radio station, na since ukipeleka unapeleka na contact zako nyuma, nilivutiwa na mse nikiwa kwa hao atiniaje nimepea ta staff yako, kamwambia si basi sasa we kazi ni kwako, akaniambia hapana kwendangi hivyo, lazima ununue mbuzi. So,
True.
So I was like, damn, mbuzi tena? Ati hivyo ndo kunaendanga hata wase unasikianga au wote kila mtu anaangusha kitu.
Hiyo kitu wanasema ni ukweli. I remember there was a time I released my song inaitwa Nkohanchere, and I struggled so hard to do a video, of which after the release of that video I tried to find airplay. So by good luck I got a connection with somebody. I cannot mention, you don't allow that. So after talking, conversing on a long time, I introduced myself. Mimi ni nani, I do this kind of music. I even sent a sample of my audio, and it was very good. He never replied. So after texting and texting, it was just blue sticking. So the next day, after talking all those, and I was pressing too much, you know, like Tamima is trying to say you commit, yeah? I was committing too much. And then the guy kind of became tired. And then he asked me, do you have money? Then I said, no, I'm only looking for help because I'm an upcoming artist. I'm not good, but I believe in my talent. Then he said, okay, if you don't have money, I cannot help you. Then the conversation just ended that way. To me, Jamal alikuwa anataka kitu. Without that one, he cannot help you.
Hiyo biashara ya media presenters na artist ni ya ukweli. Maanake way back from 90s imekuwa ikiendelea na mimi nilishahusika nayo kwamba ndio waweze kuwakilisha nyimbo yako iende hewani mpaka uwe sort something now. Na kwa hivyo hiyo sio kwamba tunawekelea presenters, huo ni ukweli, lakini ukweli ni kwamba sio system ambayo inafanyika katikati ya media ama station, but it is between the individual to the artist. Na kwa hivyo bado tuta-accuse hiyo management ya ya media.
Someone who deserves to be played. Unaambiwa the first 3 songs lazima achote. Akisha break ile yoke, now achoti. Kama Naiboi hapa hizi chota. Cause ako na content. From his story.
Ana content, yuko na jina.
Yes. Hiyo jina, wakiita Naiboi kwa show for an interview, wako na story. But an upcoming artist akikuja kwa show, wanasema wanamfanyia favor. Of which hata interviews lazima mtu anunue lunch. Wacha leave alone kuchezwa. But interviews unaambiwa lazima ununue lunch. Of which managers and the publicist au ndio waambiwa. But artists at most cases wanaogopa kuambia because wanajua anaweza enda kuropoka.
Ataandika wimbo.
Yes.
As Tamima said, it's not a finger pointing game. Let's just call a spade a spade. With everything, with the musicians, with the radio stations, with the clubs, it's consumer driven, right? So this Play KE is bigger than just media stations. It boils down to the consumer. Perfect example. I'm in radio, I DJ. In the club, it's happened so many times. When we play Kenyan music, it's a matter of minutes. A matter of minutes. If it's not the Naiboi hits were dropping, a matter of minutes, and then, Buddha, utacheza Naija lini?
That's what I was trying to bring up before. Then does it mean that the Kenyan population is not loyal to its product? Because if the Kenyan guys just say, you know, the Nigerians, when they, let me just tell you guys, in the UK, in America, they go into a club, they buy 5 bottles of champagne or expensive liquor. And then they tell the DJ, you will play our songs until we leave. If you don't play, we leave.
We leave.
So the club decides, what is the 2 yimbo out to Ajibambe. But in Kenya, so I was asking you, are we loyal? Are we loyal to our guys? Like in Naiboi?
Yeah.
This is not, it's not a Kenyan thing. It's a worldwide thing. Keeping in mind that even other countries, let's say in the States, they are very select artists when they remove songs. Number 1, billboards. Okay? Upcoming artists have to get up there. The good thing there, they have structure of the billboards and stuff. So as media houses, when you're asking me how we check, you're looking at the numbers. Billboards, what happens? It's a number of airplay in media houses, downloads, okay, and requests and all that stuff. In Kenya, tuko na kitu kama billboard hapa? Hatuna.
But what if you use YouTube? Because on YouTube right now, there's a song I'm sure you've never heard. And it has more views than anybody else. Okay? Ina jina mbaya, lakini...
Useme.
No. Ina jina mbaya, lakini I'll give it to you. But it has more... So what are you using to gauge that particular play? What do you use? What do you use at Capital? Or as yourself?
Personally, I look at, everyone always says content, quality, but who determines, who's the SI unit here? Who determines what is quality? You know, who determines what is good content? Because as Tamima said, at the end of the day, there's institutions, then there's individuals at these institutions. So if you decide that song A is quality, but I disagree, then who comes and creates that compromise between us. That's what Tamima was saying. Like we need, did you say organization?
I
What
think
did you say?
structures. And then even just on that, because when you asked, do the fans love Kenyan music? I genuinely believe Kenyans love Kenyan music just as much as they love Nigerian, American, South African, Tanzanian. So the problem we have here, and usually in a room, especially in our part of the industry, we are creatives, but then you must always remember, it's called show business. The business is longer than the show. And right now the problem we have, and even for me as someone who's in media, and even as a Kenyan, when I go out of these borders, I'm in Johannesburg, and I'm hearing Diamond is being played in a Johannesburg club, and South Africans are there dancing. So there's something Diamond is doing right as a business. So for us, our business is doing badly because forget outside our borders, even in our own backyard, our product is not being given value. So that's what the whole conversation around Play KE is. It's this product that we have, and to some extent, it comes down to patriotism. That's why when he made the statement, somebody asked me to pay, I said it was an individual. Just the same way, if we leave music and we go to this country, how it's run, there's a word, it's called corruption. Guys, what we are talking about is corruption. You promote corruption when you unaambiwa tuma mbuzi na utatuma mbuzi. When in essence, you should make a point to know this person either has a boss or they report to someone. Can I flag it down that I didn't quite like as someone who represents artists?
But Tamima, if I flag it down, I'll never get played.
No, and that's the thing also, because, and I've worked in media for the longest time, and I started out literally dealing a lot with artists. And you'll find there are always two types of people.
Yep.
There are people who will promote Kenyan artists genuinely because they recognize, like for me, if I don't promote you as a musician, the station will decide 6 months down the line, we no longer need music shows. Tutaweka telenovela pale. Sindio?
Which is another thing. And I think I would like you to dwell around the issue which I raised about Kenyans not being loyal. And loyalty, you brought it up in patriotism. Because if Kenyans decide that we shall only listen to our songs, we shall only request our songs, we will dance our songs, we will watch our programs, then you see, you guys will have no choice in the station. You have to play what we want.
But you see, for them to get to that, that's where now we are saying it's a product. There has to be a deliberate effort to promote the product. That is where now the organization comes in. So that as a sector, we must now rally our heads together. Guys, tuko na shida, tumekubali, 2019 probably all the way till June, Diamond will rule. Lakini by December, if we sit down, we are like, fine, Naiboi is doing well, but which other artist have we given birth to? Because there are a million artists, and what I really admire about Tanzania, even internally, every year they have a new artist. There was Diamond, there was Rayvanny, there was Bosso. They have a knack of churning them out.
Okay.
For us...
And Tom, let me ask you, and I'll come to Cedo, I'll take a final, because I also want the audience to give me some response. Cedric, in terms of content, do guys love Tanzanian music and Nigerian because of the beat, I think, on the harmonies in it? I don't know what you'll say as a producer. Tanzania, wako pale na mistari, wako pale na misemo, it's more like poetry.
Why do we ask whether Kenyan music has content? Nani amesikiza Tetema hapa? Nani amesikiza Tetema? Who thinks my content kwa 2-in-1 is way better than that thing? So it's not about the content, to be honest. It's really not about the content. What I believe is this. Tanzanian music ni kubwa hapa because we gave it an avenue. Mtoto mleavyo ndivyo. So if they keep on listening to that type of music, that's what they'll go and request. Same thing as Nigerian music. And Nigeria is too deep because the culture was brought in by Niger movies. We fell in love with how they talk, how they do the things. When the music comes in, you feel like you're one in the same. So Kenyan music, ichezwe, guys will get to request it, and the industry will grow. That's what I believe in.
And actually, I think the reason why kuna a lot of low quality music out there, then zina do better kushinda the song that zinafaa kwa charts. I think wasanii wameona nikifanya song cause Wakenya wanapenda vitu zina trend. nikifanya song yenye ni ya ujinga ita trend na nitachezwa kwa media bila kutoa hata bob. Una get? That's why wase wana record the same songs zenye hazina content, but una get mse ana ngoma deadly, lakini ukipeleka kwa station hakuna mtu anataka kusikiza. I had a meeting with someone from the Trace. Akaniambia siku hatujacheza 2-in-1 ya Naiboi juu ya quality. Na Lamba Lolo inachezwa the Trace. Between the two videos, gani na deserve kupata airplay?
Shida. Na by the way, Slahver napenda vile kizungu imeisha kama airtime ikikutegea Kiswahili. Imekuwa poa sana. Cedo, umesikia hiyo story ya content and the two variations is given about the song. What do you have to say? Because I know you're very much involved in helping artists to write their songs and produce their songs. What do you think? And then also let's get a solution. Tufanye nini? So tukimaliza hii session tuseme kutoka leo, si tumesema kama wa Kenya ama hii panel, this is what we want to do. If you guys want to go to Switch TV and get played, this is what you want to do. Kama ni email itatumwa kwa mdosi, email itatumwa kwa mdosi.
Sawa. First of all, I think kila mtu akona role yake important ya kuplay. The media has a really powerful authority over what happens in this country. And I have no right to dictate how you run your business. I don't have that right. But because you are a media, which means you are the go-between you're the go-between between the content creators and the market, right? So you do bear a responsibility in determining what happens, and that's a fact, okay? Yes, I have no right to tell you how to run your business, but that's a responsibility that you bear, which means if you give people content X over and over and over, it becomes the truth, right? So you're the truth dictators. If today you decided to change the system 100%, it's entirely up to you, right? It's entirely up to you. We can choose to follow trends, we can choose to follow world trends, but I don't think countries like, say, Nigeria or Tanzania are also following world trends. They are just doing their thing.
But you can't trend over a month.
Yes, you can. Let me finish. Yes. Now, remember, we also have a cultural problem in this country. It's really tough being a musician. You do a gig outside there, you're arrested. You play loud music in a matatu, it's a problem. You have to, even licenses for bars and pubs were revoked from playing music up to a particular time. At even some point, we removed music from the curriculum, you see. So I feel we have a deep music cultural problem in this country. And I feel each person has a responsibility they bear. I, as a producer, have a responsibility to make sure that I create as much good content as I can possible. Naiboi has the same responsibility. The DJ also has the same responsibility. If the DJ takes up upon themselves to say, you know what, I'm going to do the best I can to create a balance from today moving forward to make sure that there is a good balance between introducing slowly. I'm not saying you change your playlist immediately. I understand that when you say you're in a gig somewhere and all of a sudden you decide to play Kenyan music that people don't know, of course people will run away, right? But if we develop a culture of introducing that slowly, step by step, we will get there. It won't happen overnight, but if we start, we need to start.
Thank you. All right, so let me throw this to the audience. I want to hear some reactions, and especially from Gidi Gidi here, an all-time vet. And Gidi Gidi, you're a radio presenter, and you're an artist, and also you're an activist, a social activist. So I want also to hear from you, number one, about the playing, about the content, and also you spoke today about, or the group, about the whole issue of business, the business of music, and telling artists to take the responsive role and play their right role. Speak to us.
Okay, so you want me to start with the play KE?
Just flow.
Okay, to fellow artists who are here, my name is Gidi.
Hata Kiswahili ni sawa buda.
Anaongea Kiswahili pia sawa. So for the play KE, I think I've been putting my sentiments on social media, especially WhatsApp group that's being shared by quite a number of people I'm seeing here. From an artist point of view, I agree with the artists that we need to play more Kenyan music content. From a radio presenter of view, the truth of the matter is that playing Kenyan music on radio station is not solely decided by radio presenters. These are issues that are decided by media owners because it's their business. Radio station is a business. And as a business, they decide on the format and the direction that they want their radio station to go. Because they're in business, they make money out of advertisement and something like that. So they have a team there who normally sits, for example, like where I work at Radio Africa. I think they sit weekly or bi-weekly, where new music, when they're brought there, there's a team that take them out to the audience to listen, and then they decide on which one is supposed to be played at what time, what rotation, and all that. That is how it works in a radio station. Unfortunately, most of the artists don't understand that. They normally believe that it's the presenter. Of course, not all radio stations are using that format. So there are some radio stations that maybe the presenter decides on what goes on air. But a professionally run radio station, the decision is not the presenter. Kwa hivyo, wale wamekuwa kitukana wa presenter, tafadhali ombeni msamaha. Now, solution. If we as artists want more airplay, there are only two solutions. One is to lobby with the media owners. We can come together. We can have a sitting like this with media owners, Patrick Kwaka, Bwana Masharia, Nation Media Group, hata kama ni Aga Khan. We sit them down, we tell them, you know what, this is our country, we need to promote our music, we need to promote our culture, we need your input because you are the one who makes decisions about your business. It can work. That's solution number one. Solution number two is to lobby with the government to enforce the laws, which are already there. The 60% airplay of local content. It's already, there's already a process I know that is people working behind the scene to ensure that. So that each and every radio station and TV stations shows how they are playing their content, and every day they report to Communications Authority, who are the licensing body for all the media houses and all that, to ensure that today show ya Gidi walicheza 90% Kenya, 10% Bongo, or 5% Nigeria, or something like that. That is the only two solutions that can work. But if we continue tunabishana, tunatukanana, or something like that, we cannot get a solution. So let's lobby, because we're in business. Artist music is business, and also radio station media houses are businesses. So let it be a business-to-business negotiation.
Let me ask you, Gidi, a question.
Yes.
You've been in the industry for a long time. If msanii wowote, the biggest artist in Kenya, aseme msitumie product XYZ, Wakenya watamsikiza?
Okay, sama?
The biggest artist in Kenya, or whoever it is, akisema msitumie product XYZ, because our support industry, Wakenya watamsikiza?
I don't know if that can work, because people have independent choices. So ukiniambia...
Yeah, but in America, kuna mtu alitoka Twitter, alijamshana hao katoka Twitter, they reduce kama 30%.
Yeah, it depends on the level of influence. Not everyone is so influential like that.
So in Kenya?
In Kenya, it's a challenge, because in Kenya, if you look at our artists, we've had a few artists who command fanatical kind of following, or somebody who can say something na inatetemesha nchi. We only believe in our politicians. Actually, it's only politicians who can say such a thing, na labda kama vile tuliambiwa tiji tuache kutumia Safaricom na vitu kama hizo. It was from a politician. It was not from an artist. But not Kenya, bado labda tujafika hiyo level of influence where maybe artist akona hiyo power. Maybe.
Thank you.
But we will get there.
All right, so I want to take reactions from the audience, and also a few weeks ago, the president requested that he would like to meet the industry. So we put together a series of meetings and engagements which will mean that in about a month, about a big number of artists will actually go to State House to sit with him and discuss about the issues of the industry. What has happened is everybody is assumed to belong to an association or an organization, okay? So your organization has brought forth some requests which have been put together in a form of memoranda, which will be circulated to the industry for the industry to present to the boss. So in case there's anybody here with any idea which you'd like to present to be added on, you can stand up now and give it. But just make sure it's short, factual, and straight to the point. 3 questions, 4 questions before I take it home. There's a guy behind you with white beards.
My name is John. Could it be that media owners don't want to play Kenyan music because they don't want to pay royalties?
Let me take that. No. That's a very firm no. And I think going forward, because even by the time you're saying that you want to invite media owners into the room, this discussion should not be accusatory. This discussion should not be finger pointing. This discussion should come in a form of, number one, I like the point that he made, because even from the onset, there was misunderstanding of, is it the DJ who decides? Is it the presenter who decides? So with that statement, it's a firm no. And again, I'm calling for soberness, because with soberness, you'll find that even without it being made a law, because it could be made a law. Let me give you a scenario. It's made a law, we must play 60%. But if you look at the playlist, the 60%, it's the same people. So what happens to all these new artists who want to pass through? They are still held back. So this discussion for what it is people want to achieve, it's a labor of love. It needs to be done whereby people will be willing to give more than what is expected of them. Break the silos. So that if I, as Switch TV, maybe we've recognized, oh, there's this young boy called Kilosh. He's hot. I can easily call Duncan and tell him, Duncan, there's a boy here that I really believe in. There's a boy here that I really believe in. So everybody is playing the same thing. Because also, the conversation is not also about getting played. Why do you guys as artists want to get played? You want to get played to earn. Correct or wrong? Yeah, because our businesses can also now come back. If this discussion loses sense, mneza ambiwa, indo rate card. Safaricom pays $500,000 for 30 seconds. You want 3 minutes. This is your bill. You don't want it to get to that level.
No,
so
it should
must
not
be.
Get there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We rely on the artists for the content we play, not the discussions, the presenters. Yeah. The connection with the listener is the music that is played. Okay? So they are the ones who give us their content. Unfortunately for us, we've vetted so much that a majority of the music doesn't get played. I think someone needs to take a step and say, you know what, I'll take the lead. Because what the problem we do as media house, we follow the trends. If someone decided, okay, this is a trend I think that would work, let's play the Kenyan music, so be it. But we can't charge them.
That was hypothetical.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
all
because
right,
I'm saying
okay,
the conversation needs to be
Duncan,
sober.
Duncan and Tam. Yeah. All right. Next time, bring an iPhone so that I'm able to see. Doctor. All right. I want to take reactions from the audience. Now, remember that all the questions being asked are not necessarily to all of us here. These are things we can bank and use next time. For the media owners, I know part of the presidential roundtable on the creative economy will be a meeting with the media owners and government. All the media owners will be there. The owners of the station, not the guys you see here who work for the stations. They'll have that conversation. We're pushing the issue of 60-40. And what we said is we don't care what time you play local. You can even play local at 1 in the night, 2 in the night, 3 in the night, till morning at 6, as long as we achieve the 60%. What we're going for here is the earnings and not necessarily to be played at the time when guys are listening. So that's the 60-40 thing. So it's there, we've banked it. We'll take the next one. What we'll do, just give us your reactions and then we shall close while we listen to what's going on. Yes, please.
I just wanted to hit on 2 points. In terms of the bribery, in our country we call it payola. Guys, it's everywhere. It's not going away. the key to it for me, I find, having worked at record companies in the past, is try to be innovative. I've had situations where major radio stations would say, we're not going to play your artist's music. You've got to pay us, whether it be the compiler or it's the DJ itself. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not going to pay that. I've got to find another way in order for this artist to break. And then they will be the same people who will call me back and say, you never gave me that song. Please, please, can I have it? Because I've had to find another way in order for them to draw that attention. Payola is everywhere. Guys, don't think in America Beyonce is not paying payola. It's just legitimized in America. It's called pay for play. You buy airtime as a record company for your music, for your artist's music to be played, right? My second point goes to my sister. With regards to structures, it concerns me a bit because the model of the industry has changed a lot. Worldwide, we've only got 3 major record companies. That's Universal, Sony, and Warner. They can't sign everybody. And neither do artists this day and age want to be signed. A lot of people want to be independent, do their things, not be controlled or creatively controlled by anybody else. I think rather than saying people need to be signed or work with within a structure, it's just that they need to have structure within themselves in terms of how they work with their media agencies and things like that. But we can't go back to saying everybody needs to be signed to a label. People need to be, working with a certain company. Because there's a lot of artists that are out there that are making it without being signed to anybody.
Being a big artist in Kenya, it's like it's a huge thing. For example, like the thing that Naiboi has been able to do for himself, it's commendable. Because the Kenyan audience is one of the toughest audience, I'd say. You don't know what these guys want. Today they want this, tomorrow they want this. If you look at comments on YouTube, if you go through comments of songs from outside, I was going through comments last night of a song by a Jamaican artist called Etana. If you go to the comments, you'll think Etana is a Kenyan artist. Because the comments are from Kenyans. As in, we love music, but we don't basically know what we want. And most of the artists in Kenya, they don't stick to one genre. Today, you do this, tomorrow you do that. So we don't have that one niche. Like Nigeria, we know their sound. So it's quite easy to like their songs because we know their sound. Today we're doing, Kenyans, today we're doing this, tomorrow we're doing that. And also it's the way Ted, you're saying, we're not faithful. The audience is not faithful.
Loyal.
Yeah, we ain't loyal. Like, it's not the problem with the radio presenters, TV. We just ain't loyal because most of the time tunaitishanga just stuff from outside, which is not fair to the artist. So as much as we are blaming or we are thriving for Play KE, it's up to us, the audience. It's necessarily not up to them. Like Cedo does his job, he produces good music. So it's us, and even for them to push. If you push something, that's how you'll be able to achieve what you want. If Safaricom have like a new product, they'll push it. Eventually, you'll have to like it. Like for example, whatever they have new, the new Fuliza or something. Even a kid knows what Fuliza is. So it's just pushing. It's a matter of pushing. Don't get tired. Push.
Thank you. So much wisdom from the guy. Next year you'll be on the panel.
Thank you.
Yeah?
That's my dream.
All right. So I'll take from the lady there, that lady.
When this Play KE thing started, there was a conversation about the gospel side. It seems to be thriving, even though they have their own problems with cartels and things like that. But we don't find the same thing on the gospel side because half the time they're playing Kenyan music and half the time you'll always find an upcoming artist is going to break out much more easily in the gospel side. So I'm just wondering, what is it that the secular side is not doing that the others are doing? Thank you.
Surprise that there's a cartel also on the other side. All right, if the gospel guys were here, they would have told you the same thing. I think it's a system. You've heard about Biola, you've heard about the states pay for play. It's a system. And there are only 2 ways to beat the system. 1, either you rise up, or 2, define another direction where you're able to run parallel to the system and you actually make it. Let me just ask you, how many guys remember Burna Boy called us peasants? How many of you complained?
And may I think the only solution to Kenyan music problem is just the media. The media just have to play Kenyan music, and because tukisema ati history to discuss, you tutengeza memorandums, you tupeleke wapi, haita work. Juu hata uko kwa gava, si kuna kwa na inquiries huko. Wanakuja paka na report. They have never been implemented. The only solution ni moja, because hiki tu wafanye tu legislation. Ikuwe tu bill, because you have young MPs, si ndio? Kina Babu. In fact, all of Nairobi MPs ni mayouth. Wanaweza sikia, wapeleke parliament, wafanye kitu kwa law. 90% Kenyan music. Na hapo kwa hiyo 90%, I think kwa hiyo bill, waweke ka clause ya watu wafungwe. Kama media ichezi, watu walale senta.
Alan, weren't you my student?
Yeah, we work together.
Unachocha. He knows very well the structure and how things are.
You know what I'm trying to say ni hivi, si ndio? Hii kitu tukidiscuss haja haitawaka. Tutengeze it worked in South Africa. In 2016 they passed, si ndio? And
Haski Kiswahili.
Oh, it worked. What can I say? Kizungu unajua network kidogo kizungu.
Did it so?
What I'm saying is in 2016 South Africa passed the bill where they played 90%, right? Yeah, it was like a law. It happening. It is happening. You know, in 2016, you know, okay, South Africa did that, okay? You saw what Casper did, yeah? Alijaza Stadium because they started playing the Kenyan music. Si tutengeneze tu bill, iende parliament, ikitukue law. Mtu akiviolate afungwe.
Hi guys, my name is Elvis, and what I have to say is it's all about an all-round thing, from the media to the artist to the production house. You know, as an upcoming artist, it's been quite a hustle trying to even mine for production space. And let's say you're doing a specific genre, and you approach an established artist, he'll try to put you down. He'll give you false hopes and try to put you down. And so I feel like the media and the established artists need to mine for upcoming talents. Media, you go to record labels, you go to Cedo, check out something new, make it a habit. Let's become passionate about the Kenyan music. Yeah.
Wonderful. What genre do you do? You're a country singer?
Yeah.
Country music?
Yeah.
Original?
Original.
Oh, sing something for us.
The wildest memory of a love long gone, risen in me from a single glance. The shock of instant recognition on her.
So, where utachezwa Capital?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Cedo? Cedo?
Let me just wind up. So you see, like, I approach someone with such a content and they'll tell you, "Wewe unavuta bangi. Do you think you'll be able to sell this in the local market?" You see? And you have to try something and then get to see if it's going to work. Because even the comedy industry came through, and right now it's doing way better than probably the music industry in Kenya. And us guys back in the day, guys like Issa, I believe, those guys were discovered. Great talents and great content. Yeah.
Remember, if you want to take part in creating a solution for Kenya, then you have to be part of the solution. We shall raise a memoranda. We shall present a memoranda to the government and to the president. Remember that government works with documents, memorandas. All right? So be part of it. At the fat desk outside there, you can put down your name and what you'd like to give, your suggestions, and it shall reach us. And then we shall call this big meeting to discuss this stuff. Let's have a quick final roundup, and then we shall call it a day.
If we're going to take anything home from this discussion, we we can have all the legislation, all the memoranda, all the media houses playing Kenyan music. But at the end of the day, if we do not work as a unit, then even this panel here, this conversation we're having is a waste of time. We cannot say play Kenyan music, alafu, Naiboi is having a concert, Tiko ni 3K, and everyone's like, I need a mob. Yet the Banner Boys will come and people are there saving to pay 10K for a ticket. It needs to be a unit. We need to be a unit. And when we achieve that, those hashtags play KE that come, what time in the year? Beginning of the year after Christmas when guys are broke? Nah, it can't happen. We need to work as a unit.
I strongly believe that you can never lead people from beyond your experience. So I have no say to how people should run their businesses and what government should do and so on and so forth. So I'll speak for what I know. And my appeal is to the artists. Just keep on creating content. And remember, you're doing content for the people. We are not creating content for radio. We're not creating content for YouTube. We're not creating content for whatever. Write music for the people. Be it lamba whatever or be it whatever, just write music. Keep on pushing your music and focus your music to make sure it gets to the people. Radio or no radio, DJ or no DJ, it is possible.
Acha niingilie media kidogo. I think media haijui ile power iko nayo. Because me as a DJ nikicheza kwa club, like this is my audience. Niko now direct. Media imechange kukua, they're playing their music ni kama kwa club. Hawajui wanachezea wasee wako. DJ wako na wasee hapo. Ukicheza ngoma mbaya utapigwa mawe. So una get media ina push ngoma, unapata songs zenye zinachezwa kwa club ndio zinachezwa kwa radio, of which haifai kuwa hivyo. Una get kuna songs zingine hata ziko in a cappella, huwezi cheza kwa club. But una get, since Wakenya wameona okay, trends ndio zinawaka, pia media wameingia kwa trend, of which mnafaa ku create your own channel. Mnasema tunafaa kuchagua muziki yetu hivi na hivi. Even the DJs, songs kishachezwa huko nje, DJs watu wata request kwa club, because huwezi ambia DJ acheze ngoma yenye haiko kwa radio, haiko kwa TV.
Tuite kwa hizo memorandum zote, we sitting through lobbying other media players, because it's also a mindset. I think for the longest time, media didn't understand how important showbiz is in the larger scale of things. So they would be focused on all other parts of media, and the showbiz would be left a lot of the times to the DJs and whatnot. So this conversation this year has been very timely, because now it means as an industry, we have to now look internally at our structures, so that our structures can support the music industry, which again gives a lot of room for employment. Because through music, si wasanii pekee, stylists, video directors, producers, like it's a whole industry. So personally as Switch TV, you are very committed. And to you as a creative, put the art first, yeah? And I'm saying this with a lot of love. The journey is hard. So stay committed, network, and for those of us who are up here, let us mentor. Let us mentor, because there is wealth that I have, there is wealth that he has, there is wealth that he has. And right now, thanks to social media, angusha DM, the good ones reply, and they leave you with something. So si lazima kuache na do, but anaweza kuacha with a nugget of knowledge that will put you a step forward from where you are. Yeah.
When we came into this market, there was a gap that needed to be filled. And since you mentioned about our cars doing a lot of mileage, that was marketing, okay? What are we marketing? We're marketing something new into the market, whereby it's audio-visual. If for all who have been to the Energy Radio website, you'll realize that when the music is playing, we're actually playing the video of the song on our website. The audio goes to the FM feed. And for those songs that don't get airplay on the FM feed, we have 22 online channels, one of which is a 24-hour dedicated channel to Kenyan music. So if you like country music, there's a 24-hour channel there. If you like hip-hop, and so on and so forth. So as Energy Radio, we've kind of shaken up the industry because the media had gotten too comfortable. It was mundane, the same routine, all right? We have slightly jolted the industry to realize that there's a lot more than that the Kenyan artists are offering that we're not giving them the platform to do so. So as Energy Radio, I'll encourage you, go to our website, click on Energy 254, you'll find it's a 24-hour radio. It's like a Spotify, all right? You choose what you want. For us, we encourage the Pan-Africanism as a media house. So yes, you'll find we're playing Nigerian music, you'll find we're playing Tanzanian music, but in that particular folder, you'll also find Kenyans. Now what happens here is, since our systems are automated, there's no human touch to how the music is selected. So if your song has made it to the particular folder, at least in a day it'll play twice or thrice, which was unheard of before. Why? Because other media houses use the old format of having a physical person choosing the music. So it's upon us, the media, to either embrace technology that the artists have embraced. Why? Because they upload their music first onto YouTube, all right, and other social media platforms for them to gain traction. As media houses, either we absorb the new technology and ensure that everyone gets fair and equal airplay. Otherwise, it'll end up being Naiboi and Diamond fighting for airplay in a Kenya radio station.
I believe about the play Kenyan music, options ni hizo mbili Gidi alisema mapema. Media owners na artist, we come together and decide how we can both make money. Then the next one is you and the president who sort out your part and tutakuwa poa. I believe those are the immediate results that we need. And for any artist who anafeel kama anataka give up, I believe in 2010, she used to take us to high schools to perform. Make sure una try to network as earlier as you can. Hii kitu ni hard. Ni hard even for me to sit here and say play Kenyan music, yet I'm being played. You need to realize it's really hard. But if you believe in it and you have the passion and you believe in God as I do, keep on praying, work hard, one day itakuwa siku yako. Thank you so much.